Most people hear the name Sun Tzu and immediately think of generals, swords, and battlefield tactics. They imagine chaos, dust-filled air, armies clashing at dawn, war drums echoing through valleys. They imagine strategy as brilliance, victory as glory, war as a test of courage. Entrepreneurs quote Sun Tzu on social media. Motivational pages turn his words into sharp, powerful memes. Military academies praise him as a tactical genius. But almost everyone misses the real point, because Sun Tzu was not obsessed with fighting. He was obsessed with something far more dangerous: what fighting costs. When you strip away the myths, the dramatic quotes, and the romantic image of war, the art of war stops looking like a military handbook and starts looking like a financial survival manual. Sun Tzu wasn't teaching rulers how to destroy enemies. He was teaching them how to avoid destroying their own state. Welcome to the financial side of history, where power, money, and survival are permanently linked. War was bankrupting China. To understand Sun Tzu, you must understand his world. He lived during one of the most unstable periods in Chinese history, the late spring and autumn era and the early warring states period. This was not one China. It was a fractured land of rival states: Qi, Chu, Qin, Wei, Zhao, Han, Yan, each ruled by ambitious kings, each convinced destiny was on their side. Every ruler believed, "I will be the one who unifies the land," and every ruler believed war was the solution. But something was changing. Wars were no longer short rituals between nobles. They had become industrial-scale conflicts. Armies numbered in the tens and later hundreds of thousands. Entire populations were mobilized. War became a permanent budget item. Soldiers needed daily food. Weapons needed metal and craftsmen. Armor required time and labor. Horses consumed enormous amounts of grain. Supply lines demanded roads, carts, guards, and storage. Each campaign drained treasuries. Farms collapsed as workers were conscripted. Taxes increased. Trade slowed. Debt grew. A war was no longer just fought on the battlefield. It was fought inside the economy. And most states were losing before the fighting even ended. Sun Tzu saw the real enemy. While other thinkers praised bravery, loyalty, and sacrifice, Sun Tzu looked in a different direction. He looked at what remained after the war: empty treasuries, starving populations, broken infrastructure, angry peasants, weak rulers. He understood a brutal truth: a state can win every battle and still collapse, because victory is meaningless if the economy is destroyed. That's why the art of war opens, not with inspiration, but with fear. Sun Tzu calls war a matter of life and death for the state. Not glory, not honor, not pride. Survival. To Sun Tzu, war was not heroic. It was hazardous. Winning without fighting is economics. One of Sun Tzu's most quoted lines is also the most misunderstood. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. People think this is wisdom, or philosophy, or moral teaching. It's not. It's cost analysis. Fighting costs money. Time costs money. Losses cost future productivity. Every dead soldier is a worker who will never return. If you can force surrender through fear, diplomacy, alliances, deception, psychological pressure, you save resources. Sun Tzu wasn't chasing peace. He was chasing efficiency. War as a balance sheet. Unlike other military texts, the art of war barely describes heroic combat. Instead, Sun Tzu obsesses over distance, supply, speed, discipline, intelligence. Why? Because these are financial variables. March too far from home, costs explode. Transport food instead of growing it, expenses multiply. Keep soldiers away from farms, future harvests shrink. Sun Tzu even calculates it. Long distance equals economic loss. This isn't metaphor. This is accounting. Logistics is strategy.
Sun Tzu understood something modern leaders still ignore. Logistics doesn't support strategy. Logistics is strategy. An army without food is already defeated. A war without supply collapses on its own. That's why Sun Tzu hated long wars, not because they were boring, but because they were financial suicide. Information, the cheapest weapon. Sun Tzu valued intelligence more than armies. Why? Because information is cheap. One spy can save a campaign. One accurate report can prevent disaster. One warning can stop years of unnecessary war. To Sun Tzu, knowledge wasn't power. It was expense reduction. Today we call it data-driven decision-making. Speed is cost control. When Sun Tzu says, speed is the essence of war, he is not encouraging reckless attacks. He is warning against delay. Every extra day burns money. Every delay increases risk. Every pause grows the bill. Fast victories preserve capital. Slow victories destroy it. War as opportunity cost. Sun Tzu constantly asks hidden questions. Can this be avoided? Can this be shortened? Can someone else absorb the cost? Because the most expensive war is the one you never needed. History confirmed his warning. Empires that ignored these rules collapsed. Long sieges emptied treasuries. Overextension caused rebellion. Debt destroyed legitimacy. Those who applied Sun Tzu's thinking survived longer. They didn't fight harder. They fought smarter. The modern world still follows Sun Tzu. Technology changed. Human behavior didn't. Vietnam? Afghanistan? World War I? These wars weren't lost only in combat. They were lost when the economic model failed. Modern warfare now focuses on sanctions, cyber attacks, proxy wars, economic pressure, maximum damage, maximum cost. Exactly what Sun Tzu taught. The real lesson of Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu was not a warrior philosopher. He was a guardian of stability. He believed real strength meant economic resilience, discipline, patience, knowing when not to act. To him, the best general avoids waste. The best ruler preserves capital. The strongest state survives the aftermath. Final thought. Sun Tzu wasn't teaching how to win wars. He was teaching how to avoid bankruptcy. Because states don't fall when they lose battles. They fall when they exhaust the resources holding society together. Strength isn't how hard you strike. It's how long you can afford to. History doesn't repeat itself, but the bill always comes due. If this changed how you see power, war, and money, subscribe. Because history already wrote the warnings. Most people just never read them.